Hi guys, welcome back. There are a couple of things that I want to show you outside, but it is super windy and I want to avoid getting all those noises in the mic, so we are filming inside for now. But a lot has happened because over the weekend we tackled a project that's been on our list for quite a while, and that is taking off the ivy that has slowly been taking over our house. We have ivy growing up the front and the side of the house. There's an addition over there that has an even worse kind of ivy, if you can believe it. It is growing up all the way up to the roof, into the gutters. I am really afraid that it's going into the roof tiles, like underneath the roof tiles, and maybe cause leaks and things. And then a couple of videos ago, I showed you that it was literally growing into our house, like into our living room right there. That is not ideal. That is not very good for the house. It's also not very good for my sanity. So we decided to take it off. So we called in reinforcements. Our local gardener came to help us out and take it off of the walls. We haven't taken it completely off. We had him cut it back to about 140 centimeters high, which is right underneath the windows. That's a height that we can maintain it ourselves. Even I can reach that. So hopefully that will be easier to keep it in check. We are going to reevaluate next year to see if maybe we want to take it all off completely. But for now, this is how much we're going to leave. We do really like the look of it. We just don't really like it growing into the house and breaking the house down. Additionally, on the side of the house, right where you come into our front door, there is a whole area that was roses and lavender at some point. And I'm sure back then it was beautiful, but it hasn't been maintained in years. So it was now 80% ivy. It was just completely overgrown with weeds. The plants that were there were not pruned properly. It didn't look very good. I completely forgot to film it for you guys. Very sorry, but trust me, it didn't look very good. So we decided to take it all out now that our gardener was here with a gigantic truck anyway. So it's completely bare. We are going to grow grass in that area, which sounds very boring, but it actually makes sense because we have grass on the front of the house, so it's going to connect to that. And it's just so much easier to maintain. It's going to look so much more tidy. And then when everything is nice and neat, we can decide to put plants there or make it more interesting at some point. But for now, it is just empty and a little bit ugly. I'm sorry. But I really hope that you're not completely tired of my outside projects yet, because there is more to do. So moving on to our newly built vegetable garden. This is the third time I'm saying this because I just have to keep looking for a spot where there's no wind. I think I found it. I think this is the right one. But currently, 2 of the raised beds actually already have something in them. One of them is tomatoes, the other one has onions and carrots, but the other 2 beds are still empty. So I took some time last night to prepare those beds as well. I added some fertilizer, I put some the right soil in so that they're all good for all of our little baby plants. And I prepared the area where I said I wanted to grow some flowers. So I did the same there, but I also actually already sowed them. I sowed some dahlias, some daisies, some marigolds. I've got some mix of flowers, so it's also kind of a surprise what's going to come up, which I think is fun. I really like the idea of being able to just cut flowers from the garden and put them in a vase in the summer, so I'm hoping that's going to work out. But I've never actually grown flowers before, so I have no idea. Now, there are a couple of things that are ready for planting out that I want to put in the beds today, so let's go and do that. By the way, I've decided to start posting videos every week instead of every 2 weeks. Now, this means that I won't be able to do a whole DIY project every video because that is just not doable. I can't do a big project in a week and edit a video and all that comes with it. But I'll be doing a little bit more vlog style videos, so I'll be talking a little bit more. It's kind of a bit like Vlogmas, which you guys seem to like. So I hope you guys like it and I hope it goes well. Wish me luck. Whenever I have to plant something in rows, I will make little furrows into the soil using this little tool that I made, which is really just a leftover board. But I wrote some measurements on it so I can very easily plant things 20 or 30 centimeters apart, whatever space that certain crop needs, which just makes it all a little bit easier. Now in this bed, which is the one with the lonely little thyme plant in it, I am doing 2 cucumber plants on the far right in the back, so behind the thyme. Thyme's actually a really good companion plant for cucumbers, if you didn't know. ago. And then on the other side of the bed, I'm going to do broccoli, which are going to be 6 plants, I think. And then next to the thyme, I am sowing a couple of rows of dill, which in addition to making delicious tzatziki, which I have on hand all summer long, is also a very good pest repellent for both the cucumbers and the broccoli plants. So in fact, I think they work for pretty much all of the plants in the garden. So I'll probably plant more dill in other places as well. It's very versatile. It also looks great in a bouquet of flowers. So I don't think I can plant too much dill. In the other empty bed, I am planting 3 bell pepper plants. I actually sowed these inside, so they are ready now to be planted out. And I noticed they were very much suffering from the strong wind in this area, so I decided to put little sticks next to them just so that I can tie them up in the beginning stages as they grow stronger. I left the space behind the bell pepper plants empty for a bunch of chili pepper plants, but I didn't sow these beforehand, so I plan on actually buying some plants that are already ready. And then I'm sowing some spinach on the other end of the bed and lettuce in between. We have this WhatsApp group in our neighborhood that is often used for people that just want to get rid of something, or they have something for sale and they'll let you know. And this time somebody posted a couple of posts that were used in the garden for free. So I said I would love to pick them up because I thought I am working in the garden. They could always be useful. If you remember in my last video, I mentioned that I would like to make a little fence in the garden. So I think that I could use them for that. Anyway, I'm going to pick them up. I don't know if I'm going to use them right away, but I think it'd be good to have. Also, I'm parked in the middle of nowhere because I was going to be there around 9 and it is now 8:45 and I don't want to impose that early in the morning. But I made new friends. Look at these. They're so cute. So I've been insanely indecisive about where to put my pea trellis. I wanted to build a new one in the new vegetable garden, but I didn't know where to put it, and I couldn't decide, and it was even so bad that it is now May, and I could have planted them out a month ago, maybe even earlier with the weather we've been having. So absolutely ridiculous. It's usually the first thing that I can harvest because I plant them out very early, and I didn't this year, so I'm a little sad about that. So today I was going to build a new trellis for the peas because I wanted a higher one because they actually always grow higher than the trellis that I have, but I don't have the materials that I need, and I find it a little wasteful to go to the store and get more stuff when I already have a trellis that works fine. So instead, I've decided to take this one out. This is our backyard, so the vegetable garden is in the front, or actually to the side of the house, and I moved them there because they didn't get enough sun, except for this little spot. This actually worked perfectly fine, but I want everything in one place. So I'm going to pull this out of the ground. Hopefully it gets out easily, and then we're going to move it to the new vegetable garden. I mean, it's not perfect. It's a little bit warped. I feel like if I do this a couple of times, I can very easily pull it out. This also needs to come out. I've been seriously neglecting the backyard as I started working on the vegetable garden. This can go in the compost bin. There's a nettle, and I don't have my gloves on. Go away. Ah! Oh my God, I got stung in my leg from the back. That is so unfair. I was getting rid of a nettle on that side of the trellis, and another nettle stung me in my leg. Oh, that was easy. Hang on. There we go. I'd have to get rid of the weeds here, but I think this would be a very good spot, actually. I have an idea. I'm going to make like a makeshift planter around the trellis using this scrap wood that I have left over. It's actually a bit wider than the trellis itself, which is fine because I can plant around the trellis and have those plants grow up against the trellis as well. So I'm just very quickly going to take off these little posts and reattach them in a different spot so that I can make one long planter. And I'm not gonna do this on this table because I broke the table and it's about to collapse. We're working on the ground again. Nice. I do like to reuse things, but I also really like things to look pretty and uniform. So I try not to have like all kinds of different garden beds made of different materials. I don't think that looks very nice. I don't know what this is, but it seems to make a beautiful flower, so I'm gonna leave that. That's a big one. Oh, ha, stupid. That is so dumb. Just having a quick tea break with my supervisor here, supervising the whole operation, judging my decisions, mostly by napping. The garden is starting to look great though. A lot of things have not come up yet, so it's a little bare, but it'll get there. You are so adorable. I am happy with the trellis, mostly because I can finally plant those peas, or sugar snaps actually. I've been calling them peas, but they're sugar snaps. I guess they're a kind of pea, I don't know. But I can finally plant those out, so that's really good. But I do think it's too small. I really would like one that is at least twice this size. So I want to be able to grow more of them, first of all, and also I think they can go a little bit higher. So maybe next year I will build a proper new big pea trellis. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though there was only a tiny little DIY project in there. And I very much hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.